Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with the review of the Transformers Titans Return Walgreens exclusive Wingspan and Cloudraker. So, people in the US have been waiting for this for a long time. So, a little bit of backstory. Wingspan and Cloudraker, Decepticon and Autobot respectively. Originally in 1987. A lot of times returns come from 1987, 1988. You hear, folks. They were released, and they both had a clone brother. They were the Autobot and Decepticon clones for their appropriate factions, and both of them had similar robot mode, identical robot modes to their their clone brothers, but had drastically different alternate modes, with Cloudraker being a jet and his brother Fastlane being a car, and Wingspan being a bird of prey and his brother Pounce being a big cat. So now fast forward back up to Titan's Return. There have been two massive box sets released, the Siege on Cybertron and the Chaos on Velocitron box sets. Both of these box sets include one Autobot clone. Not one Autobot clone, but just one clone in general. So, with the expectation we're getting 4 box sets, everyone's like, okay, so we'll get the other 2 clones in the other box sets. And then it seems the other box sets get canceled, and then these two, as leftover and also to fill the collection, get packed together as a Walgreens exclusive that other countries got before Walgreens did in the US. But they started appearing really popularly, it seems, around Thanksgiving of 2017. So you should be able to go out and find them now if you don't have them, or they should be starting to appear near you soon. With all of that background out of the way, let's get looking into these figures. We'll start with Wingspan. And like I said before, he is a large bird of prey. He is predominantly this dark purple going on here. He's got some nice pink going on these wings. Dark purple back there. You got white for his head. You've got a little bit of detail and a little bit of red going on in those eyes. Underneath you see more dark colors. And then you get some robot bits. You got a lot of white going on under here, and then you got the dark blue purple claws going on there for the bird mode, and then you get hands, and there's robot torso there, and these bits right here are the legs. So, and you can see the feet blatantly there. But they were originally simple figures, and these are pretty much modern updates with modern articulation and stuff. So it's very nice. He's got a very nice wingspan, and he's pretty neat. He is pretty neat. He is a beast, so he does have articulation, though it's pretty limited. You can get the head to go up and down if you reveal the robot mode head right there. The wings can, if you detach the wings from the legs from where they're connected, you can get the wings to bend up and down a bit. But the main point of articulation is on the end right here with this hinge, but the wing cannot go down, so like you can't really get him to pose the wings, and then like you get a little bit of foot piving, and you can probably like get the arms moved about so as you can get different angles with the claws and whatnot, because the arms, I will already say, don't tab in anywhere. But again, it's just a little weird because of how it's designed. But again, they're basing it off an original in 1987 design, so you can't fault them too much for that. And he doesn't come with any accessories, but he is Titan Master compatible. They are, of note, they are roughly Legends scale, so just to know that. And they are capable of seating a Titan Master. Wingspan is able to seat a Titan Master right here on his back, with that slot right there, accommodating this tab on the back of the Titan Master's legs, and then the Titan Master being able to sit there like so. So that's Wingspan. Now we're going to move on to Cloudraker. And you can see Cloudraker Cloudraker here is a Cybertronian jet fighter thingy. It's pretty boxy and pretty weird, but they were trying with the concept. The robot mode's the same and the vehicle modes are different, so the alternate modes did suffer a bit in that transition, and they didn't do a whole lot to update. But anyway, you can see up here, the cockpit up here has a lot of nice paint detailing. It's predominantly red. There's a little bit of light blue, silvery kind of a thing going on there. You got a bit of white stripe going on there. You got some white picking out these vents on the side here. You got a nice Autobot symbol right there, and a little bit of yellow even at the very tip of the nose cone. Coming back here, you got another Autobot symbol. You got Cloudraker's unique clone symbol right there. Original G1 toys had rub signs, and to tell the difference between the clones, if you didn't transform them, was to rub their special rub sign that indicated which of the clones they were. And since this one has... let me fix the lighting, see if you can see that better. It's really hard to see, but if you can see the outline, that's a symbol of his jet mode, so you know this is Cloudraker, the jet one. Then you come to the sides, and then you got the white legs, and then you got these little black wings on the sides. You got a little bit of silver going on there, and then you come back here, and then you got like these red sections, which I guess are supposed to be thrusters. And then you got this very tiny tail fin going on here, which, look at that underneath. It's his head. It's his head. Oh my goodness, it's his head. There's not much else more to say about him. He does have a landing gear that pops out right there. However, I didn't even notice this until someone was asking on the forums. The landing gear, while it is on a pin, the pin just doesn't have any friction. Like, it will hold, like the pin, like the hinge, like the landing gear itself won't move based on just shaking the toy. It's not loose, but it cannot support any form of weight. Like, I can just put it on the ground, and like already the landing gear has sunken in from its maximum extension. The same thing also applies to like the wings, because I believe these wings are supposed to extend straight out, but they're at a bit of an angle, and according to the person, that's actually a pin issue rather than that's how it's designed to be. I don't mind the wings being at that angle, but that's the thing that happens, and like the landing gear is not a problem to me. It's just an annoyance since they put it in there. It doesn't do much, and like, again, you can get it to stand, but like it doesn't hold very well. Like, that bump has already reduced the landing gear back to closed. Pretty much, it's just a minor thing. It's just a couple of minor things if you want to be looking out for, but it seems to be a bit of a problem, so you may not be able to avoid it. He is also able to set a Time Master on him. Cloudraker's has a port right there that fits the same tab on the back of the Time Master legs. And then the Time Masters just sit right up there on the front of the jet, and you can do that. So that's all there is to say on them in their vehicle modes. So let's get into some vehicle mode size comparisons. Here they are, next to Legends Class Bumblebee. And you can see Cloudraker is a lot bigger just because he kind of spreads out. Same with Wingspan. Wingspan is only just as long as Bumblebee, but substantially longer. We have Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. And you can see how Cloudraker looks. And then how Wingspan looks. We have Voyager Class Megatron. And you can see how he looks next to Cloudraker. Next to Wingspan. And Wingspan's still longer than Megatron. And we have Leader Class 6 Shot. And that's him next to Cloudraker. Whoops. And him next to Wingspan. And Wingspan is not longer than 6 Shot in his card. Quick comparison before we move on to the robot modes. I don't have Pounce. I never got the Siege on Cybertron box set because that was very limited run. I still want that, but I don't know where to get it now. But I did get the Chaos on Velocitron one, so I do have Fast Lane here, or Fast Clash rather, so you can see how different they look in their alternate modes. And then when I bring them back, I can show you how similar they look in their robot modes. So yeah, and then I'll just show them off next to Wingspan very quickly. There. Okay, so that's all there is to say on Wingspan and Cloudraker in their alternate modes. So let's roll right along to the robot modes. Robot modes. So Wingspan, to transform him, you're gonna untab his wings, which are his legs, and then you're just gonna fold them down. There are hinges right here and here. You're gonna fold the entire wings legs down on those hinges, and then they're gonna connect together like so. Then you're gonna rotate the legs forward like so, and then flip the wingtips up like that. Rotate forward, fold the wingtips up like that, and then you are done with the legs. For the arms, you're gonna fold them out to the sides like so. Rotate the arms forward, and then fold the feet up so they're kind of more flush with the arms like so. And then you repeat that on the other side. Rotate the arm, rotate it forward, fold the feet up. Then you got the arms all done. And you just take the hawk head, fold it back, collapse it down, rotate his head forward, and there you have Wingspan in his robot mode. And you can see that. But we will do Cloudraker's transformation before we take a closer look at him. So to transform Cloudraker, first thing you're going to do is you're going to take this cockpit and you are going to fold it back. It is going to untab from where it tabs in right here, and then it's going to fold back on this double hinge and just collapse on the back like so. It's going to fold like that. Then you're going to untab the legs from the sides of the body. There are slots right here that fit these tabs right there. However, it's a little bit of annoying to get them in since those tabs move because they're on the same hinge that allows the arms to transform. So that's going to be, that's a bit of a pain. But anyway, you do that, you untab them, and you're going to collapse the crotch and the hip into the crotch area like you did with Wingspan. And you're going to fold the foot out like so. Collapse the wings like so, and then like so. Collapse like that, covers that back gap very nicely. Then you got one leg done. And then you repeat that on the other side. Collapse the hip together, fold the foot out, and then fold the wings in to cover the legs, and then you got the legs all done. For the arms, you're just going to fold them out to the side, rotate them down, and fold out the fists. Repeat that on the other side. Fold out, rotate down, fold out the fists, and then you just rotate Cloudraker's head forward, and there you have Cloudraker in his robot mode. And he also looks pretty nice. So let's take a closer look at Wingspan first, and you can see Wingspan's head. He's got a predominantly white helmet, white face with a little bit of red on these eyes, though they do look kind of faded on mine. I don't know if that's supposed to be how they look or if that's something off. Actually, they look kind of orange. Oh yeah, that is more orange than red than I assumed. Whoops, that's actually orange, folks. I do not know my colors. I do not know my colors at all. So now with the torso out, he's got a lot of this light blue going on here. For most of the torso, you got a little bit of white there. You got his Wingspan rub sign symbol on his chest. It's not actually a rub sign, but let's see if I can get that. Yeah, there you can see the outline at least, and you can see the hawk shape in there. And then you got a Decepticon symbol on his crotch right there. His upper legs are white. His lower legs are predominantly that dark purple. You got a bit of white on his shins and his feet, and a little bit of yellow going on the feet. Then his arms are predominantly white with the dark purple fists going on there. And then you can see the sides where the wings are folded up. You can see the claws on the back, and then you can see the back with the head and the tail. And this actually does fold. This tail bit does fold, but doesn't do a whole bunch. It only goes 90 degrees. And this mode predominantly just serves to get out of the way of the legs. It doesn't actually fold all the way up, even though it feels like it should. I don't know. Minor thing. Articulation for him. His head is able to rotate a full 360 degrees. His arms are able to rotate a full 360 degrees, and they are able to bend that far out. And because of the transformation, you are able to like get his arms to come in on himself, so like you can like cross his chest, but like his shoulder comes like to the front of his body. So you get extra range, but at the sacrifice of realistic movement. There is a bicep swivel that allows him to rotate a full 360, and there is actually a bicep swivel. It's not the ball joint. It's not just the ball joint, and you can get the. You probably could if the bicep swivel wasn't so loose. It's not loose, but like very free, and that the friction in there is a lot looser than the friction in the ball joint if you try to swivel it. So like you're gonna swivel the bicep instead of the ball joint, but you could probably swivel that ball joint around too. But you do get an elbow bend out of that ball jointed elbow, and that gives you over 90 degrees of movement at the elbow. There is nothing at the wrists. There is nothing at the waist, but his legs are able to bend that far forward, and if you get the tail out of the way, only that far back, then you're able to get his legs to go that far out to the side. He goes over there the full splits. He's got a nice high kick. He's got a thigh swivel that allows his legs to rotate a full 360. He's got a knee bend that is a little less than 90 degrees, it seems to be. And then there's nothing at his feet. Yeah, nothing at the feet there. Now taking a closer look at Cloudraker. He is predominantly red. He is very, very red. His helmet is red. He's got a white face and a light blue silver visor going on there. His chest is predominantly red. There's the jet symbol, the Cloudraker symbol on his chest. There's the Autobot symbol from before. He's got a couple white stripes going on, like right below right below his transformation sections. I don't even know what to call them. His biceps? Would those be biceps? I don't even know. I don't know my muscles. His crotch is in red. His hips are in red, and then his lower legs are in this creamy off-white. There's a little bit of silver there. There's a little bit of silver over here with a little bit of red inside there. And his feet are red. There's a little bit of black on him because of his wings. And his arms are fully red except for his white fists going on there. And also his fists and Wingspan's fists are 5mm compatible, just to be clear. His head is able to rotate a full 360. Oh, and I didn't look over the back of his body, and you just see the cockpit going on there. Pretty much, it's pretty clean on him. Though he also has this giant fin sticking out the back of his head, which, like I already mentioned, is able to rotate a full 360 degrees. His arms are able to rotate a full 360 degrees as well, and they're able to go that far out, and they're able to bend in on the transformation joint to allow like some arms crossing across the body articulation. He does not have the same bicep swivel that Wingspan does. It's just at the ball joint in his elbow, but he's still able to get a full 360 degrees out of it, and also is able to bend his elbows greater than 90 degrees like Wingspan was capable of doing. Nothing at the waist, but he does have this wrist that does bend in and out if you want to use that for anything, though it doesn't really seem to serve any purpose. His hips are able to go that far forward, that far back, and that far out. Not as far out as Wingspan was, but still far out. He does have a thigh swivel, allowing full 360 degree rotation. He's got a knee bend that is slightly less than 90 degrees, and then his feet are able to pivot barely because of these wings getting in the way. If you were to move, like untransform the wings a bit, you could get a lot more articulation out of them, but considering the wings are supposed to be there, you're not going to get that much articulation out of them. And that's all there's to say on those two in their robot modes. So let's get let's roll right along into some robot mode size comparisons. Here they are next to Legends class Bumblebee. And you can see both of them are a little bit taller than Bumblebee is at the head. You got Deluxe class Chrome Dome. And you can see they both come up to a little bit above that brown bit right there, just like right there on Corundum, pretty much both of them. Voyager class Megatron. Both of them are basically the same height. Megatron, please stand for me, thank you. As they are pretty much the same height, they both come up to about that pin on Megatron's hip right there. We got Leader Class 6 shot going on. And we're going to need to raise the camera for him. And then you can see they come up to like that second bit in six shots the knee right there. And here they are next to the channel's mascots, Soundwave and Wheeljack. So you can see how they look together. And a quick comparison, here they are next to Fastlane, and you can see just the general similarities between all of their bodies and the explicit similarities between Cloudraker and Fastlane right here. The only differences are being the wings and what's sticking off the back of their backs and their head. Just from the front, though, they are identical in every way. But yeah, so that's Wingspan and Cloudraker. They are both very nice figures. They're small. They were more annoying to find than I would have expected, and now I'm really annoyed that I don't have a Pounce. I really hope I have a chance to get the Siege on Cybertron box set at some point, so as I can get Pounce and I can get a bunch of the other figures in that set that I'm really interested in. Like I'm interested in the entire set, but there are a few more figures. There are certain figures in there I'm more interested than I am other figures. But these two are very nice. If you get a chance to pick them up at your Walgreens, pick them up. They're only available at Walgreens in the US. They're available at other places in other countries. And yeah, they're simple. They're like weird in their ultimate modes, and they're good in their robot modes, but they do hold their gimmick of like two identical robots that turn into completely separate things very well, as long as they're with their partner, which again is not the case in Wingspan's case, but they're pretty neat. Nice to see such minor characters gaining updates in the modern toy line, and yeah, they're nice. They're nice. I think they were $18 or $19. So, and they're basically legend size. So that's a bit of a deal. That's a bit of a deal there, right? Right. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say on Wingspan and Cloudraker. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page to help support the channel. All the links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack signing off.